Hi, Carolyn Kearney here at Powell Arts, and I'm standing with the talented Michael Wines in front of his piece, which will be in our The Marvelous and Unusual show from now through July 16th. Mike, can you introduce us to your piece?
Sure. This is Questionable Ted. I actually made it as part of a makers competition that I run, which is kind of this friendly get-together of artists that have a challenge every month. And one month I made Questionable Ted here as a challenge.
What was the challenge to you?
I don't remember, honestly. I think it was something to put your keys on, and I made that to put your keys on.
This would be the most amazing entryway piece because you could also put stuff here and here. So he's cool and functional.
That's right. So I made Ted here, and I went to hang him up, just like you said, in the entryway of my house. And my wife got home and said, "That's questionable." That's the name, Questionable Ted. He's made out of mostly wood. I turned his mouth on a lathe.
Okay.
It's a bowl that I cut and sliced in half and turned into teeth, and I carved his tongue out and all the weird pieces. And these are made out of plants and
that's so cool.
And painted. And
I was gonna say, how do you treat them? The feather boa,
feather mustaches,
exquisite use of feathers. It has so much personality. You feel like you're meeting Questionable Ted.
Yeah.
He has such great, besides just being cut pieces, you've also sculpted and shaped them. How did you go about carving? What did you use?
So all kinds of things. I used the bandsaw. I used various sanders, chisels, you name it. Any tool in the shop. I run a wood shop, so every tool in the shop I used.
So this is perfect for The Marvelous and Unusual. I love that you curved and stuck out his tongue. It just really tells you who Ted is. And Mike, I'm going to just touch it.
Go ahead.
The little tip of his nose is my favorite, the way that you rounded that around. What are you making the eyes out of?
The eyes are glass, and the back of they're basically just a glass shape. The back was painted, right? Painted the black, the purple irises, and no blood. There's just black behind that.
So,
and then I glued the little glass beads.
That's what I was,
into there, and I found these little plastic pieces, and I cut those out on the bandsaw and sanded them down and stuck them in there.
The attention to detail on this is amazing. When you were how do you plan out something like this?
I usually start with one part. I have an idea, and I think his idea started with the mouth.
Okay.
I was making a bowl on the lathe, and I thought it'd be cool if I cut it in half and made teeth.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, what could I do with just his mouth? And then I thought, and then it just kind of went from there. I started making stuff, and I saw these plants when I was walking through Michael's, and I was like, oh, I can use that.
Did you paint them, or were they already installed? Oh, cool.
I painted them.
So this is so intricate, and it's so funny because you made it out of a bowl, almost like a platter with sides, and that is what people use in their entrance a lot of times to drop their stuff in. So you literally have a bowl that you built this face on. How did you get started doing this?
I have no idea. I just started. I thought it'd be fun to carve something one time, and so I started carving, and it kind of took off from there. And then all of a sudden, it was running a wood shop. So.
Well, and you said that you used to be. Were you an amphibian, a reptile expert?
Herpetologist.
A herpetologist. And I said earlier, you used to investigate creatures. Now you make them.
Right. Yeah. I used to work with all the animals. I worked in zoos. I worked at the Turtleback Zoo. I worked at the Memphis Zoo. I worked with Zoo Atlanta. Worked at Auburn University.
Are you from the South? I was gonna say, are you? Yeah.
Mostly Memphis.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's a nice area. I think when you're making this, how do you think of color and things like that? I
like bright colors. So anything bright that's going to just kind of explode off the wall. I think I got that from my mom. She makes quilts and really bright colored quilts.
Yeah.
I've always liked it bright.
It's so joyful, and the way that you've built this out, even this piece here that works with both a brow bone and a ridge and inset for the eyes follows the shape of a forehead to build out the forehead, which is great. I don't know what the challenge cue for this was, but you said you won the challenge?
Oh no, it's my competition. I run the competition.
Oh, so this was
So
just your
this is just,
entry.
I enter every month, no matter what. So
It's a challenge to get you guys making art.
correct. Right. It's mostly like kind of like a support group. Everybody makes something and everybody
I love that.
compliments it, and
We
tells you better ways to do it and it helps you out. And
I'm a musician, and that's one of my favorite ways to compose is to throw out a cue, and then all of you kind of compare. It's such a nice way to like open up your ideas and things like that.
it's a great group of people that'll join the competition.
Well, I love Questionable Ted. I think all of you will love Questionable Ted. So please come see Mike's fantastic Questionable Ted from now through July 16th at Powell Arts.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for having me and showing off Questionable Ted here.
We are delighted.